people used to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm done."
There might have
You know,
been
woke up and they failed.
What test are you talking about?
I had to go take the
your notary.
the New York State notary. So, which like I say, it's funny. Like some states just they don't, certain things. Just interesting to see when you live in a variety of places, right? Some places just collect the money. Here you go. Other ones make everything incredibly difficult. Right? Other ones are like, nope, this is the most difficult thing in the world. Like
That's fucking New York, bro.
It's nothing like
easy.
Capital City.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's quite an eclectic group of individuals there as well too. Nothing like hitting the downtown area at 11 o'clock on a weekday and just it's a diverse. Yeah.
Sonic got a coin.
I did. So
did you pick up a coin?
I did. So you weren't the first one to hand in your result. Did you just feel, because usually you're able to kind of tell, like once you're done, like you're confident, you kind of aced it then, right? You're good.
Yeah, no, I felt good with it. But it's just my competitive nature. I'm like, I want to be the first one, and I was like, fuck.
Did you give her an ugly look while she was walking up in the front of the class?
It was a surprisingly full group. There was a lot more people than I thought there would be. But the different cities only do it like on certain days. They do it like once a week, or it's actually every other week that they do it in Albany. So I was like, he's like, get it done today, or I gotta go back in 2 weeks. So I just went and got it done.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, once you get your results back, depending on that, then you're going to be the official notary republic of the Realm of Collectors.
I was just going to say, shout me out in the beginning for all those Realm of Collectors, right? Members in the state of New York.
all those sacred documents that we have.
Yeah, I can be like, listen, come see me. I'm cheaper than Rob D from SCU.
This document is legal and binding. Oh, man. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 54 of Breaking the Mold. I'm Harrican BX. Let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. The guy that has a red and black mic. JD.
Man.
The fuck is going on over there, bro? What's happening?
I don't know. I'm being spoiled. That's what's going on.
What is that?
That is
get a little closer to that.
A new Yeti.
Get a little closer. I want to hear the Barry White voice from
you. Dude, he sounds like one of those gremlins, like in the bar.
Oh man.
What's up, dude? That's a nice piece of equipment right there. What's happening?
It is, right?
Yep.
I don't know. The other day there's a package came. It was Monday. Yeah, yesterday. Package came and she's like, "Here, open this." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, this was a present.
Yes, it was a present. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's like, I thought it would be something nice for you to try. I'm like, okay. And it's pretty awesome. I like it a lot.
Nice, dude.
JD, it sounds a lot better than you used to. Like when we first started and used to do it through the computer.
Through this headset.
Like, what the fuck you saying, JD? Say that again.
You can hear yourself talking now, right? Like you
oh yeah.
Sound.
I could with these I could hear myself. That's what this whole thing is. Brian has the same thing.
Oh yeah, the USB powered. Yeah. As long as it's powered, you're good.
Like that thing works pretty good.
I like it.
But this kind of brings it into a whole new light,
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Utilize different rooms of the house.
What room are you in now? Is that the same room, the opposite side?
No, this is what we're kind of using as the dining room for now, while our dining room is being demolished.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the change of scenery is nice. Usually I'm seeing all those lit up detox behind you and stuff like that. So the shelves and everything. I think I remember Chana was on Into the Realm last night, right? And
yes, she was.
Yeah, I think she was.
You remember you were there.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Hey, So Well, good stuff, dude. Have you before tonight, did you get a chance to test the mic out? Did you get to, put it through its paces?
Yeah. So I hopped in the Hangout last night and hooked it up. We were both in here for, I don't know, probably till like midnight, 12:30. But I hooked it up, checked it out, made sure it worked. Dust was giving his pointers and all that stuff. So
nice.
Helping me get it all set.
Well, congrats, bro.
Well, thanks.
Welcome to the club. Is red your favorite color?
One of them. Sure. I don't know how you can classify having a favorite color. They're all so great.
I know. How can you choose just one?
Such a
criminal tattoo artist with his favorite color.
Such a politician's response. I love everybody.
All right. Well, Dominic, how are you doing tonight?
I love everybody. And I appreciate you saying my full name. Thank you, Jose. Oh, thank you. Not everybody gives like the full, commits to the full name. It's just Dom, and then Dominic is just left out.
Well, it's so prominent there. Once I clicked on your little icon, Dominic. It's Dominic.
Thank you.
You're just missing.
My mother appreciates it.
You got to change it to Nikki because you said they call you Nikki, right?
Yeah, my parents call me Nikki.
Yeah. That'd be a little weird if we start calling you that, Brammer. Stuff like that.
I don't like guys calling me Nikki. Just rubs me the wrong way.
How you doing, bro? What's going on?
Pretty good. Had a good week.
Did you?
Yeah.
You go toy hunting? Found some.
A little bit. Shout out to comic book stores that are closing. You gotta love that shit.
Oh, you were racking up.
There was a couple Hot Toys that they had, and I was able to pick up a Hot Toy that I had pre-ordered, and I was able to get it on a 25% clearance, discount. So it was pretty
canceled. Cool. Pre-order canceled.
Yep.
Dom. What'd you get?
The Emperor
and his chair. He said he's 25%. Look at how happy he is.
Yeah, it was the Emperor in his chair, man. I was like, holy shit, this guy has and I bought Hot Toys from him before, and so I knew he was closing. I went there about 2 weeks ago, and he announced that he was closing. So I was like, you know what, I'll show up because he's closing the store at the end of the month. So I said, let me go take a ride down there, see what he's got left, and he had a couple Hot Toys left, and one of which I guess he had it on order, and it came in, and he had it up there, and I was like, "Is your Emperor and chair on 25% discount?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like,
wow.
Looked up. I went out to BTS, cancel. I'm like, ram me up.
And
he had to charge me tax and everything, so it's like, and he didn't have it for like the 314 price that they BBT has or Sideshow had it for. He had it like $10 or $15 higher. So, all right, but it all worked out still.
It worked.
I got it for a couple, couple bills cheaper.
Yeah, and the instant gratification, like at that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask before, but you already mentioned it. If it was like a local spot or like online and stuff, and that sucks, man. It sucks to hear that. Like,
hear
about mom.
He's been there for a while. Hey, he's been involved for a while.
Can I just point out just something that Dom bought an old man in a chair action figure. He didn't even call it the throne. He just called it the guy in the chair.
Old man in the chair, whose feet can't touch the ground.
Hey, Tom, did you get to open that yet?
No, not yet. I haven't.
All right, because I heard Tyler talking about it last night. And he said the packaging was different, so I wanted to see if
Yeah, no, it is different.
How you felt about it?
Yeah, he had it out of the shipper box, and I at least opened it up to take a look at it. It doesn't have the art print. I don't know why it's because it's the deluxe version. I was wondering if it just the regular version still had the art covered, like the art that comes in it, the sleeve that pops out before you get to the actual figure.
Was the box really big?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Maybe that's why. Because I just got the deluxe Boba, and his art's in there, so I don't think it has anything to do with deluxe or anything like that.
Probably it's just a huge box. It's about the size of It's like if you got like the Ray, say like it's the same size as like the Ray and BB-8, but thicker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's almost like this. It's almost the size as if you bought the Tarkin and the Vader together. It's like about that size box. So, but I've been getting. I have also picked up a couple other Hot Toys that just. It's just I'm overwhelmed right now with packages. So I've been cleaning up the room. Taking some stuff out. I was able to, it's just the whole process, and just I've been trying to, organize some stuff and, get the wheels moving on my, my lovely room that I'm trying to get all set up for. So,
yes, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it's I've been, Dave knows all about it. We've been hunting for just cabinets as you can, see what's going to go on and what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, good. So. He's pushing you. He wants you to get your shit up. He wants you to get your shit up.
Yeah, but like it's not going to be all of it. It's just going to be some the pieces that I want to just put up and enjoy for the time being. But
that's fine, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's good.
But like it's definitely. Like Dave said, like, the warnings that everybody heed, but it's definitely like, I got so much of the Transformers stuff because that's what I originally collected. And it's like, whether I want to get rid of it or keep it or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting question, because you come to collect and then when you start wanting to set things up and put a display, you're wondering if you're going to be happy, with the multitude of Transformers that you bought and put that on display or now that you're seeing higher end pieces like, this Hot Toy, even quarter scale statues, which you're now dabbling into. It's like, what is worth displaying, so.
But it's more like at JD, I'll understand. Like I have doubles of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So he I know he's been in the process of getting rid of those doubles, and I might be starting to do the same. I'm hoping the next TFCon next year, or possibly in the fall, if they do want a second one this year, is somewhere near by us, and I'll definitely buy 2 tables and set that up.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. That it's definitely something cathartic about when you start to let some of those things like go.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm not one to hold on to any things. I do sell stuff, so it's like I'm not. It's just I like what Dave said last week. Like it's better to hold, better to get it, to have it, and not worry about it later. But like when you do try to set up what you want to set up, you at least have it. And if you don't think you need it, then you can get rid of it at that time. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a process, and I'm going to definitely enjoy it.
Awesome, dude. All right, next up, Energon Addict. What's up, Pop?
Yo, that's me.
That is.
What's good?
What's up, everybody?
I had an interesting week, I should say. It all started off with the host of ETR, Chris, coming here on Monday last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of threw me off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to watch ETR while fucking
he's here hosting
and it's like a good 30-second delay or even more. Like I knew what he was gonna say like before I heard it 10 feet away from him.
Yeah,
so it was kind of weird. I kind of had to like leave the room or shut it off for a while because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So but it was cool. And we, he came here. I cooked dinner and shit, and we hung out. He's like family almost. He's been here, I think, more than anybody else. With all his trips to New York, he's at least here once a week when he comes for dinner. So that was nice. And then, of course, we got to hang out on Wednesday. You, me, him, and Eric, and that was a great time.
Yeah,
it's just like it's weird because like you said on the other day, I think it was on your interview with Bobby on Verbally Challenged.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this shit. I think about it all the time. I'm like, yo, I just met these dudes like 2-3 years ago. I eat dinner with you guys more than I do my friends that I've known since I'm,
that's real.
High school.
Mm-hmm.
I got buddies that were in my wedding party, and I haven't seen them in over a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? JD, get your ass to fucking New York.
Yeah. So driving to GameStop and fucking picking up lifesavers.
Don't wake up at 4 o'clock. Okay. Drive over here.
Wake up at 4 o'clock.
I'm just fucking with you.
4:15.
4:15. and get your ass over here. Listen, JD, you don't need an invite. You ever want to come, work it out with me? We can work out the logistics. You come.
Yeah, David's always home. He's not.
Yeah, man, I'm a homebody. That's why I collect toys, but keeps me out of trouble.
I don't know if anybody heard Chan last night, but we're going to be doing something here.
Oh,
I could do something here. Yeah.
All right.
Have everybody that can come, you know.
I can't wait to try.
It'll probably be like closer to summer, but
okay, that'd be probably better.
Hilly road.
As long as you got air conditioning, I'm there.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
I'll sleep on a rock as long as it's fucking cold.
Yes.
You know what
He's
I
got
mean?
a squatty potty.
Good. We got plenty of squatty potties. There's one for each bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I even got one. She even found me one that I can take with when we travel.
Hey.
Wow.
It folds up. It folds up.
Yeah, dude.
What is it? Just platform shoes? Just got you some high heels. Just wear these.
No.
I bet you they're red.
No. It's like white and gray.
Yeah.
JD comes out in his red pumps, like, oh, you know what you're gonna do.
Oh, shit.
I'm ready to poop.
Hey, you guys ran out of TP here. What is that guy doing in there?
He's got to poop on the runway. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, so I mean that was basically the gist of my week, and then on the weekend we took Christmas down. My wife is a procrastinator with Christmas. She wants to leave it up because it takes so long to put it up.
Yeah.
And she'll leave it up because she likes it. So plus for the kid, she's like, "Oh, the baby likes." I go, "You do this every year before the baby was born. You did this. What the fuck are you talking about?" So like, I woke up Saturday morning, and some days I wake up I don't do shit. Other days I wake up with like a fucking energy out my ass, and if I wake up like and the house is a wreck and she's chilling on her phone and the baby's making another disaster, I just start cleaning. Mm-hmm. So she actually put the baby back to bed. The baby wakes up at 6 and then takes a nap at 10. So Lauren decides sometimes to take a nap at 10 too. So she went and takes a nap. So I'm like, fuck, man. She went and go take a nap. All these fucking Christmas decorations are still here. So I just went upstairs and I grabbed all the empty, like ornament boxes and shit, put them downstairs, started taking off the lights from the front of the house as best I could without making noise to wake them up. And then when she woke up, I said, there you go. I had cleaned up the kitchen and shit. And I was like,
Dave, what's your hourly rate?
Oh.
I might need to come to my house and clean, put my shit away.
Listen, I'm already cutting your lawn, bro. I can't do your fucking.
I know. You're at the same corner, right, bro?
Yeah.
I'll buy you a sandwich. I'll buy you a hoagie.
No sandwiches, bro. We're on a fucking weight loss. Buy me a salad. Yeah. But I mean, aside from that, I started working on the room a little bit more again too, cleaning it up some more. Putting some stuff away, taking some more stuff out. I put up one curtain so far.
That's what I said.
That shit took me like a fucking hour and change to do. I don't know. I can't explain it, but basically, I had to take it down and put it up twice because I didn't fucking read the instructions. I'm thinking, I could do that. I need a drill, Mm. I go up there, I put the rod up without putting the fucking curtain on it. How the fuck is the curtain getting on there? I have to take the whole thing back fucking down. So yeah.
Wait, the rod is not separate from the pieces that it hangs on.
No, it's you got to put the rod through the rings, right?
Yeah,
I put the rod up without putting the fucking thing up. So I had to take it down.
The rings are built into the curtain.
Gotcha.
But that's not the worst part. So I put up. So my wife bought the curtains, right? So I'm not the fucking best at fucking interior decorating and shit. So I put the fucking thing on, and I spread it across, right? I'm like, okay, it's cool. And then I was like, why is there 4 of these in the box? 2 go on each, so you can split them in the middle. And I only put the one.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't do shit when you're stoned. Okay.
I was just gonna ask you like how freaking high you were because
listen, sometimes it benefits me because it gets me in the zone to do things. Like I'll get high, be like, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck around in my toy room, but not when you're doing shit like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that and then getting on a ladder. It's just
exactly.
I was just on this chair. I didn't have to go that high.
Oh, I'm just staying on the chair. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
temporary plastic chair. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You get higher.
Yeah, but
It makes you way higher.
Yeah, but Dave, at least you enjoyed it. That's what I'm gonna say.
yeah, at the end of it, I felt like I accomplished something.
There you go.
Even though it took me probably 3 times as long as it would take a normal human, I still did it.
Oh, dude,
how many more windows in that room?
Just one. Luckily.
But I've always heard like a saying, like lazy people do things twice. So I'm not saying that
you just made that up.
No, I've heard that for years. Lazy people do things twice, and it's true because it's like, all right, you try to do the work and put it up, but you didn't read the directions. You had to fucking pull it down, do it all over again. Yeah. And it's just like if you try to fucking toss fucking garbage and fucking toss it into a basket, hit a 3, but you miss. You got to pick that shit up and throw it back.
You got to walk over
and
pick it back up, right?
Exactly.
I've done the same thing with fucking Detolfs. Like, if you guys ever put a Detolf together, the metal grates that go in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bar that goes in that holds your glass up. I put the whole fucking thing together with the fucking the gray pieces on the opposite side. So when I put a piece of glass on top, it just fell straight to the fucking bottom. It didn't break, thank God. It just chipped like in the corner.
Oh,
but I had to take the whole thing apart.
When was this, Dave? Because I built Detolfs with you without that issue.
With me, I put up another 3 without you. So one of those 3 was a fucking disaster. It took me like 2 hours to do a fucking thinking I knew how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
All it does is cost you some pizza, on a cheap meal, and you get all the help in the world.
Left, bro. Got one left. All yours. Come through.
Gary, what corner do you hang out on? So I can pick you up.
Oh, well, that'll be maybe this weekend. Maybe.
What is funny is when I did help Dave the first time, I was like, okay, let's figure. I had never assembled one before. I'm like, okay, in typical Gary fashion, I'm like, I'll look at the instructions and kind of lay out the pieces and get a feel for it. Not that difficult, right? We do the first one. Like, okay. He's like, okay, that's cool. That's good. We're good there. I'm like, no, let's do the next one. He's like, no, come on, man. Okay. We'll do one more. I was like, well, we're not stopping now. How many more are out in the hallway? He's like, bro, I got like 3 or 4 more out there still. I was like, oh. I don't know. What we do, Dave? Like 4 of them that day?
We did 4. Yeah. I wanted to stop at 2, but you made me do the other 2.
Yeah, I made you finish. I was like, now we got the rhythm down. You got to keep going.
That's right. Yeah. Put in that work, boy. Put in that work.
I did 7 of them at once.
Ooh.
He was like, "I'll raise." He's like, "You did 4. I'll raise."
Way to go there, superstar.
He said, "Your 4 ain't shit, Dave. Your 4 ain't shit."
Yeah. 2 hours. I did 7 in 2 hours.
But see, the thing is that we assembled those after Dave had me and his dad move this gigantic cabinet in the hall, out of the hall, into the hall, out of the hall, assembled, disassembled. I'm like, dude, the laws of physics are going to dictate that this furniture is not getting up these stairs.
Didn't you know those are magical stairs? They move like Harry Potter.
When you're stoned.
Oh, Brian Brink. What's happening, Pop?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
I did not have an exciting week as Dave, but I will tell you, in the adventures of organizing shelves, was it Saturday or Sunday? I don't remember, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna start moving stuff there because I want this to go there. And then it turns out when you take the stuff where it is and you put it where it's gonna go, it doesn't look as good as where you took it from. And then it breaks your spirit. You're just like, fuck this. I suck at this. I'm gonna go in a different room. Fuck it.
Brian, I was just gonna say I have a legitimate question because like you have a very wide collection, and we got to watch you display it this year. Have you thought about just taking everything out to a different room and just completely starting like fresh instead of like moving spot to spot, and think that might help? I have,
But my other room is a mess right now. So my swap space is limited. But I've been working on that.
What? But yeah, I didn't mean for display. I just meant for like a staging area. You know?
No. My staging area is full of what do they call those actors that are like the backups? The
stun doubles, body doubles.
Double?
The understudies?
Understudies, yes. I have a bunch of understudy collectibles in my other room right now. It's filling up the stage.
When Brian goes to bed at night and shuts that room, like the door, all those toys come to life and they hope and pray that they get selected to go to the other room.
Here he comes. He picked me up. Oh, he put me down.
What's in there?
He looks into his toy room and he's like, goodbye, guys. Good night. And then he goes into the other room. Shut up, you bastards.
Keep it up, and you're NJCC bound.
And then one time, low key, I wanted to steal something this week from a retail store. Whoa. Yeah.
What?
Oh.
I happened to go to.
I knew you, Brian.
Yeah, I tell you, man. I
fertilizer.
I had it cross my mind.
What pissed you off, Brian?
Well, I'll tell you what pissed me off is Dom. I've been going to fucking Walmarts left and right, looking for that goddamn 5-pack of the Mega Construx Go-To characters. I fucking need that. And everybody's like, hey, look what I'm finding. Look, the reset's happening. I'm fucking been to 3 near me and nothing. These places are picked clean. But I go to this one and they have that reissue Optimus cab, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there it is. I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever bought a G1 Optimus at retail. I was like, I would love to do this. And I'm like, people are like saying it's $50. So I go up to the thing and scan it. I'm like, holy shit, it's fucking $50. I was like, but I really want this. I'm not paying $50. I'm like, and I swear for like 30 seconds, I was like, all right, how can I work this? How can I get this out of here for under $50? And then I ended up just putting it back. I was like,
I saw that too. I saw one too at the store, Brian. I saw it scanned it and it's $50. I was like, fuck that.
It's fucking hard to swallow. What
and it doesn't come with the trailer. It doesn't come with the trailer.
I mean, $50 with the trailer, easy pickup. No.
Yeah. I would do that. I'll do it.
But okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Gary, retail.
I'm just saying though. But how many G1 Optimus Primes do you guys have already, Dom? How many reissues of that thing do you have? Right. So why? Why you already have it? You already have it.
It's the 2018/2019 version.
Like I know you have the Toys R Us 02 one. You probably have the Takara one that came with the binder. In the file card holder, right? In that really cool case, which is probably the best one to get because it has the action.
All the stickers are on it too. It was wonderful. You didn't have to put anything on.
Yeah. Anyway,
Harry, it's the experience. It's like buying a ticket for an amusement park. It's $50 to bring an Optimus home, new and boxed.
No,
it's not. Experience. That's a fucking experience.
It's like those swings at the amusement park that were like really fun when you were a kid, and you go back as an adult and you get that same ticket, and then you're like, oh, this really.
Gary,
I've done this before.
I can't fit on that ride anymore. We'll work I'd meet the weight capacity.
You know what? But I'm sure, like seeing that, like in person, though, like it's so tempting. And $50 just to get the figure itself is a lot of money. Like, what is the price that you would feel comfortable like paying for that? Like
$3.
The $25-$30 range? No, come on.
$1, Bob. $1.
That's where I was going.
What was that going for? Like back in the day, like $13 maybe, 14, $16.
No, he was like $24.99.
$24.99.
$25, $30 piece, right, with the trailer back then. But there is, I think the allure with those things though is that because I know Studio Dre brought up the point, like, why is everybody getting excited for these reissues when they've reissued this stuff before? And it's true, but I think the allure is that it's coming in that G1 style packaging.
Yeah, but the Optimus Prime, it's without the trailer, the box is not the G1 box. So it's like, I wish they did have the trailer with the G1 box. That would be pretty fucking.
So they gave you the long smokestacks. They want the collectors to buy this because the kids can't buy it because they'll hurt themselves with the long smokestack.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have two thoughts really quickly, and JD, you can back me up on thought number one. So $50, that's basically half of what you're holding in your hand, right? If you order it from the right site, which is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So, so put it in perspective that way. And look, I'm all for the reissue nostalgia and plenty of toys I'd love to have again.
Are you?
But Dave, but listen, how many primes?
You sound like it.
No, how many Seekers and how many primes can get reissued? Well, why not reissue Sunstreaker or
like I don't believe you.
Or Wheeljack?
I'm not convinced.
Or I'm just saying, like, there's plenty of other G1s that
you want other characters instead of the same.
Yeah, it's just they reissue the same 6 over and over and over and over again.
No, but we haven't gotten that Optimus Prime in that G1 style packaging like the way it is like right now. Like, when's the last time you've seen?
What makes it G1 style? Because it has a flap on top. The Toys R Us one looked just as nice in 2002.
I saw one the other day.
But it's different. It's not reminiscent of what you saw in the stores in 1984, 1985.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a flap on top of. I don't know.
I got a flap, Gary.
I don't know if I'd be telling people that.
Uncircumcised.
Either way, I was talking about my tummy, but that's about it. But I was thinking about my pecker. But
Gary, it's Optimus
I took
Prime.
it there. I'm sorry.
No, I listen. I get it all, but just you know what it is. And
why are you hating? What's happening?
No, well, the last thing I'll say is anyone who picked up that Devastator, right, or that Starscream from Walmart recently, right, pretty much flipped it or sold it or took it back and said how cheap it was.
But like that Devastator sold out, dude. You couldn't find that shit anywhere.
Wait, is it poorly made? Is that what you're saying, Gary?
So the materials are not the same. It didn't feel the same. Like
that's what everyone seemed to say. I don't know.
That's fucked up, man.
I don't know.
Hasbro hired Wei Zhang.
I haven't. Don't say that, sir. Do not.
I know I can't.
Besmirch good name of Wei Zhang. I'll vouch for that.
He's a happy shareholder right there.
They make a good product, sir. All right.
Jose's on the board. Tell the truth.
Well, G Money, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Dude, what's up? You found a good partner in life when your significant other humors you and is open-minded to things that you suggest.
You got anal?
Don't worry. Listen. I knew it. I was like,
Gary took it from the pooper.
Yes.
I set it up on purpose. No. So the other night, actually, was it last night? I got Christina to watch 1979's The Warriors, which she had never watched before.
Can you dig it?
So right. So has everyone on this panel seen that movie before?
I finally saw it this year. Yeah.
Okay, right. I know we talked about it. I think so. It's a classic, right? And it's meant to be serious, but you watch it now and it's hard to take it serious, right? Now, I will say this. That movie came out in '79. I probably saw it the first time when I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old, like on like late night TV. Just at one point. So I won't say it was like. I thought it was cool back then. I thought it was neat. There were parts of it that I thought were like, "Ooh, they're fighting and stuff like this." And the dude with the bottles is creepy because of his voice. She ruined everything. She's like, I can't believe this. She's like, why are they dressed like this? Look at that hair. She's like, that's ridiculous. Look at the outfits. I don't understand. Why are they in overalls and roller skates? I'm like, it's their their thing for the gang, but
Gangs
she
in
did
New
sit through the
York.
whole thing with me. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
So that was interesting.
it's pretty cool for a white kid that lived in the suburbs, but that's like a Tuesday for Jose and Dave.
Wow.
Oh man, I give you props, dude. That if she sat through the whole movie too, I can't fucking get Jesse
She
to
did.
watch a movie before 2006.
Yeah, she just poked her head in the door, and she's doing the thing with her fingers right now with the bottles. Yeah. It's funny.
Gary, is your wife?
She's watching.
No, she's in the doorway.
Oh, Dave was about
I
to
didn't want
take
her to
off
hear
the
my
shirt.
comment.
Yeah, Dave wanted to see her. I know. Yeah,
He's like, she's watching. He was like, put
Hey,
the camera on
baby.
me, Jose.
knock it off. Yeah. All right. Yeah, she just left.
Gary, is your wife?
I-
Is your wife significantly younger than you, or a few years younger
No.
than you? I'm just curious.
Nope, just like less than a year.
It's just it seems that whenever I watch movies with young people, they are more apt to be like, I don't understand. What's this going on here? Why is this like this? And something. And I don't know. It's like, just sit there and watch it. You'll find
Right?
out.
Yeah. No,
Brian,
she was just
I find that
humoring me.
Okay.
She was just humoring me. But yeah, that's it. Just wait.
Cool, man. Cool. And yeah, I'm back to normal, man. I went back to work last Wednesday. I had a nice little vacation. So back to reality, back to life, back to reality. Wednesday, we got to hang out like Dave brought up earlier. Got to hang out with Chris, Eric. You know what I'm saying? That was cool having some Thai food, still trying to keep it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't feel quite so special anymore. It's okay.
You know, trying to keep it, you know, within with this wellness challenge, you know, we were challenged or we were ordering from that menu and stuff like that. But I mean, I was well within my hours of eating because I'm doing intermittent fasting. So I was all good. It didn't affect me one bit, you know. Chris, Dave, Eric, I don't know, you know, hopefully I got the advantage there out of that meal, but but it was a good time. And the rest of the week was just pretty low key, just back to work. And that's pretty much it. So Gary, I know you and Dave were going back and forth in the chat, and I was kind of keeping an eye on the discussion. You were bringing up some pretty good points, and I know Dom might have, you know, chimed in with a counterpoint there. You know, retailers kind of, you know, we know how it is and we know what the game is. Retailers are going to do what they can do to, you know, make us buy as many products as possible. But I know you were kind of Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. So look, I feel like I had to preface this because sometimes I listen to the shows. I'm like, God, I still think I'm so cranky or surly all the time.
Mm-hmm. And you're hungry and tired.
Right? Because you guys keep me up too late now.
We can't do the show at 3:00, Gary. Okay?
Exactly right. It's my dinner time. No, but like I will say that, look, I think it's a great time to collect anything right now because I feel like there are so many offerings and so many companies and just so many options for different things.
For sure.
But I did think it was interesting to talk about how some different companies try and sell their products. Now, I also, you know, my career is for a selling organization, so I get it. I'm never against a business trying to make money if they are taking care of their customers and giving a good experience and earning that right to get repeat business to come back. And so just thinking about a few things, right? Several months ago, right, we talked about the Sail Barge kind of Kickstarter from Hasbro, being not an independent third-party company or, you know, a small group of fans. Hasbro saying, hey, buy this product, you know, and pay for it, and, you know, then maybe we'll make it. Super 7, who took the Masters Universe license from Mattel, right? So they sell stuff from their own store, but if they release 6 figures, you can't just pick the one you want. You have to buy all 6. And then if you want additionals of a specific character, you can buy it, which means your other option is to buy that figure, you know, as a single from a third party site, like, you know, Big Bad Toy Store. And then I look at things like the 4 Horsemen, right? And, you know, the Legions, and, you know, they did their pre-order, but they did like an all-in set for those that wanted everything to make it easy and save a little bit. Or, you know, they put together troop builders or individual characters, you know, to leave it up to you. And just curious, what experiences you guys have had, or if it's shaped your purchases at all. And I'll just only speak for myself to say there's some of the Masters Universe Filmation characters that I like that Super 7 is doing, but I'm not going to buy all 6 figures to get one person that I want. And Dom had a point in our chat that said, well, if you buy it from BBTS and they charge you another 10 or whatever, $15 more, is it worth it to get that one figure? And I'm like, well, I don't know if it's a matter of worth or not, but I'll just choose to spend my money someplace else, right? Versus buy 6 and sell 5 I don't want, or even Build-A-Figure stuff where, hey, you have to buy all 6 or 7 of these characters to get the pieces for one character that you might really like to get.
Yeah.
See,
with that example that you just brought up, though, like if you had to buy, not like the Build-A-Figure stuff, but that other, if you had to buy a whole wave in order to qualify, is that how it's working? In order to be able to buy a figure, you have to go in on the rest.
Yeah, it's an all-in option. That's it. They're not selling. There's 6 figures in the line.
Well, there's 6 figures, but you have to buy all 6.
All of them, yeah.
Okay.
And then if let's say figure B of the 6 or figure 2 of the 6, then you can buy additional ones of that figure once you've bought all 6 unique ones, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So so I can get additionals, but not till I buy all 6.
Not until you buy a whole set. Yeah,
exactly.
That's you know what? In a case like that, I guess it depends on the individual. Like if it's let's say $20 a figure. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more than that, but let's say $20 a figure. So 5 figures. If you had to spend $100, if you had to spend 30 to get that one figure you really want, and even if you wanted to get multiples of that one figure, I guess that just depends on the individual to weigh it. Like if you're not interested in the rest of the line, then yeah,
right.
Don't go in and pay the extra $10 if a third party seller is making that figure like available to you. I'm glad that's an option, but I know sometimes with the Marvel stuff and their Build-A-Figure line that they do with the Legends, like that the only options you really have are like eBay, right? And people try to kind of scalp those Build-A-Figure pieces on there, right?
Well, so I think that's part of it, but you're right, Jose, right? I think it's relative. If the figures are $20 and then the third markup goes to 30 and you get the one, but if you start with a $40 figure and all of a sudden it goes up to 50, the cat knocked over the phone.
Don't blame the cat.
Yeah, right. I just think it's a little bit tougher, and I certainly don't want to present this. There's not a sense of entitlement from my perspective. I don't feel like I'm owed anything.
That's what Dom threw at you. Don't you have any conscience?
Well, he went on like a rant. Like he was like,
no, I did because shit. Okay, great. So I can, not buy your product and pay more for someone else from a third party, right? Mm-hmm. And then I have to wait to get it because it's from like a third vendor, right? I don't get it shipped to me directly from the company.
Yeah.
And I'm also smart enough to understand that, look, in the scheme of collecting, Masters of the Universe, right? If we're going to use that as an example, is a very, very small drop in the big bucket these days because there's no media, right? It's a 35-year-old franchise.
It's a small niche.
Exactly, right? It's a super, super small niche, which is why when Mattel had it, it was a subscription service. Like I get all of that, but I still feel as if, don't make someone, buy something necessarily that they don't want. I don't think that's a great way to treat the people that are trying to be supportive of your brand, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to those Build-A-Figure, why don't you just think about it like an album, like a music album back in the day?
Exactly, right. I know where you're going.
You buy the whole thing for that one song you want. What is
No, they had singles. They had singles back in the day.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But what if maybe there was 2 or 3 songs or something? I don't know. But Gary, maybe you'll learn to love the other figures.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, I'm guilty of that though. I wanted that Cole Obsidian figure because I thought it looked really cool. I like that character, from Infinity War. And before we were all into the Mythics, he did kind of fit in that world a little bit too. And shout out to Crashbox. I got that whole wave, got the Build-A-Figure pieces, and everyone else went on eBay, and I just recouped that money as quick as I could and did the math and figured out what it cost me to get the Build-A-Figure, So I've been guilty of it when it's something I want bad enough. I don't know. I was just curious what you guys thought, because there's a lot of different ways now that you can source. We've gotten savvier. People are buying from Amazon Japan and saving money there, or trying other import sites and figuring out the shipping, or it's a lot more options. It's just you guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to kind of agree with you here. That Masters of the Universe wave, dude, there's 2 figures in there that everybody wants.
Yep.
Right? Yep. So,
what are the 2? What are the 2 big ones?
It's Adam and I forget who's the other one.
The sorceress, right?
No, it's not Sorceress.
Shadow Weaver?
Shadow Weaver.
Shadow Weaver, maybe.
That one alone, because it's so hard to get the classics. The classic one is like a very rare figure. And so
because she was a members only. Yeah, you had to have that. So, you had to have the subscription that year to get that character.
So I'm sure everybody's going in this wave just to get that figure.
Right. So and the thing is, it's like, so what's the deal, right? You sell them individually, or let's say you take these, like the ones that people really want. You let people sell them individually, but do you feel that people that are all in on all these waves, why don't you just give them the all-in package, like you said, like the Horseman give or something like that? Do you think are they afraid that the people who actually collect this stuff are not going to buy the whole wave? I don't
know, right?
Honestly, they're going to. They want it, but
my question is, with the characters that they're releasing, are they releasing popular characters that people are more apt to buy, or is it that they're trying to kind of release everybody? So you're gonna get those unpopular characters mixed in with those more popular.
So they're getting into this is like what, the 7th wave now, I would say.
Yeah.
They're getting into those other characters that are not so popular. So I think what they're doing is they're trying to relieve the fact that they're going to have too many of one character left in the inventory, and they just don't want to be left with all this inventory, and all of a sudden, they're discounting that figure. But again, they're doing an order. Like, you order, they make the orders. I don't think they're making anything more. So I agree with you, Gary. On that perspective, they should really open up the window to basically say, hey guys, here's an all-in package, here's a single figure art, and we're going to order what is pre-ordered, and that's it. That's what we do. And they're already eliminating the risk from doing that. So I just don't understand why they're not making it available for a single order.
Like a made to order, you're saying, Dom?
Yeah, that's what they're doing, right, Gary? Yeah. It's a made to order. They don't have.
It's pretty close. So at least so they say. Like I said,
I don't know what they're doing. I thought it was because they're taking pre-orders from a given window, and I was assuming that whatever pre-orders are there, or whatever count is there, that's what they're gonna. And obviously they're gonna build some float, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna be where they're producing. Oh, we gotta do 10,000 units, and we gotta do 10,000 of each. Yeah, all these figures, and then they, obviously Shadow Weaver sells out faster, and then all the rest are still there, sitting there for a while.
Yeah,
what, Dom? And I don't think it's a stock issue. Like, you could say that it's like they don't want to be stuck with all this stock of figures that a lot of people won't want. But but the thing is, they're forcing you to buy them all. They're forcing you to buy all of them, which is fucking kind of shitty.
It is.
Yeah. I'm looking at this wave now. Now I'm imagining some of these are She-Ra ones, which I don't exactly remember, but the only people I remember on screen are Stratos, Adam, and the Shadow Weaver. Was Roboto, Mr. Roboto? He wasn't in He-Man, right?
He was. He was.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he was in the show.
Yeah, he was on probably 3 episodes.
All right, because I just got done binge watching him a month ago, and maybe I blinked and I missed him.
Yeah.
That was one long blink.
But
I'm not talking about Manny faces. I'm talking about Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, Roboto.
Right.
Mr. Robato's like the Swerve of G1.
Is he?
Right. Yeah, he was in that one episode, got squashed, and that's it.
But I agree. If it's a made to order, I don't know why they're not opening up the single figure ordering, because that's what Mythic Legions does. They are made to order. I'm sure they order a little bit float just to have the float, but it's relieving them of that risk. So for example, Matty Collector, just if you guys didn't notice, if you walk into any GameStop, they got a slew now of a lot of Masters of the Universe Classic figures because they just picked up all the rest of the remaining inventory from Matty Collector, and they're pushing them out in their stores.
Mine don't have any. Mine has Sweet Bee. That's it.
Yeah, like they're all there. I see a bunch of them.
But the end of the line characters from that really aren't. They're like C-list people.
I think that's what Super 7 is getting to that point because all the first wave 1 through 6 were all the popular characters.
So I have a question though, right? So when you say made to order, right? I get what you're saying. People want 10,000 Skeletors. They're gonna get 10,000 Skeletors, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're making. That's what they want. That's it. And a few to float, like you said. They order another 1,000, right? But does it cost the same to produce that figure as it does to cost a C or D character that really like a background character you don't give a fuck about? These people are paying somebody else to manufacture their stuff, right? They got to pay a factory to do it. So are they're gonna do it by the masses to reduce their cost?
Usually, the more they make,
the cheaper it is.
The cheaper it is, yeah.
The per unit cost goes up.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe might be their thought process. Let's just make them all. Let's make them all. Let's charge. Yep. By the set, and let the people deal with it. Because look what happened to Matty Collector. Like you just said, they got stuck with all that fucking stuff that really nobody was jumping for. And now they're forced to sell it at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, but if nobody wants those characters, why are they making them?
Because there are those people that are like, well, they didn't make this one, and I need that one, and well, I was only into She-Ra, so why did they stop making the rest? There's people like that. I mean look at us.
Yeah.
Like I said, why the fuck do we need a G1 Swerve? Really, what they made them, right?
Yeah.
So
we wanted it.
I mean, you got those people that are gonna want those fucking characters, regardless.
Yeah, it's when a collection like that gets when all the chief characters get made, and they're gonna start wanting the obscurities, and they're gonna want the one hitters, and just it's just that's where lines go, and that's where.
But I think that's fine. I don't know that that's showing support for the people that are supporting your business necessarily. And so Dave, you have your Tarn, right?
Right.
Your Flame toys. Where did you get yours from?
Directly from them, from Flame.
Exactly, right. And then didn't you get an extra accessory because you got it from them?
Right.
And then how fast did you get that thing?
I had it probably a month.
Freaking months ago.
Yeah.
Like months.
2 weeks after TFCon, I think.
Yeah, you ordered it, and then you had it weeks after the show. I feel like I feel like you had it before Thanksgiving. I think, didn't you?
Right. Yeah.
It was crazy how quick you got. So if I'm you, or even if I'm me, I'll just be me, and I want to order Star Saver, from them, I'm gonna do what you did and order right from manufacturer. Because of the great service they provided you, right? And the fact that you got it quicker.
See, but Gary, with that, right? They play you on that, right? So I was thinking the same. I'm going to do that. I'm going to order from them. I'm not going to order from anybody else.
Right.
But that's another thing with, I don't know if, so they make the toy, right? They're allowed to sell the toy. They sell this wholesale to other retailers. So I don't know if there's a clause in it where they can't sell it for anything less or more than the retailers or whatever. But at the show, it was cheaper than anywhere else. Only at the show.
What was it at the show?
It was $370. Shipped.
Okay, because Toy Dojo was $379, so it's $380,
right? And
I think TF Source is $399, right?
But it wasn't the special edition with the extra pieces, right?
Yep.
And I also got it a month early, right?
Yeah.
But if you go onto their website now, and let's say you want to order the reissue, the Drift, or you want to order the Star Saber, right? The shipping on that alone from them is $60.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking point? I'm not going to order it from them and pay an extra $60. I'd rather order it from a U.S. retailer and get the free shipping. But I'm sure if you see them at TFCon in a few months in LA,
they'll give you free shipping.
In California, whatever, they're gonna fucking give you the free shipping and whatever, right? Like that. I don't understand.
Yeah, Gary, I would like when you sent out that link when they said they're gonna reissue the drift. I went there, and then like when I checked out, and they charged like $60 for shipping, and I was like, what? No way. It's like I can get the drift on Amazon for $350, and just buying it from them is more.
Mm-hmm.
So by $10, but at the end of the day, it's like it should be cheaper.
Yep.
They should be passing that savings or that discount to the customers just to buy from buying them directly, because it doesn't cost them that much. It doesn't cost them $300 to make that toy. So.
That's just
I agree, Gary. I totally agree. Companies should start, thinking of the customers more often. But just the world that we live in, it's they tend to think about profits and the bottom line, and they don't want to take a hit as much as they try to protect themselves. And these are some ways that they do to protect themselves. And and I'm all for it, because I'm more of a believer of this is a company that's providing me this product, so I want this company to be successful so they can keep providing me product. So if they are not successful, then I'm not going to get the product. And granted, there's competition, there's other people that can step up and do it, but if you're not running a successful company, then at the end of the day, I'm not going to get the product that you produce.
I have a question. Right. So Gary, like you brought up the Super 7, right? So they're forcing you to buy the whole set, like you say, right?
In that example, sure.
All right. Yep. In that example, right? Is the set cheaper per piece as opposed to what they were selling them prior to doing the whole set? Like when it was Maddie, let's say they were like $35 a piece, I think.
Well, that's a good question. I'd have to look and see, because I don't want to give misinformation.
Right.
Yeah, I did the math. I think like if you buy all 6 figures and with shipping, it would cost you like $40 a figure. I think I remember, Gary. I can't remember if you buy them individually, you also have to pay for shipping, and I think shipping for an individual figure will probably bring you up to around that same amount. So I think it's there, but it's just it's the fact that they're not individually pricing each one out, so you can select one that you want and only one that you want. So.
Well, it's hard to say, because when it was Mattel Day, I'll just tell you, because that subscription service came out 10 years ago now. And like anything else, they were $20 figures. So those figures for $20 were great, because it's like Black Series now, right, with the digital paint, or Marvel Legends with the digital paint. When you pick up that figure for $20 at retail, that's pretty great. And, they're far more articulated than the Motu characters were. And then they eventually went up to like 25. And then I think when the subscription ended, they were at 30 from Mattel, because they were selling less subscriptions each year. So they were trying to really almost force you into the subscription process and all that kind of stuff. And I think Super 7 has always been 35 or 40 when they got the Mattel brand, because they were producing even less of all their figures than Mattel was doing, and the cost that they had to do, even though they were supposedly using the same factory and stuff. So,
and Gary, is this the first time they did this? Like I'm
no, they've done it before.
Oh, previous waves were all buy-in.
They've done it. Yeah, they've done it a couple times before. But like I said, I'm not singling them out, and I'm not that into it. It's funny. Like in the current wave, look at those 6. In typical, again, Gary fashion, I'd want that Katrina character from that one episode, the cat lady.
Yeah.
I could care less about some of the other ones,
Speaking of that Katrina episode, that's the episode 1 of season 2, and it turns out Netflix only had season 1, so I have not watched all of them, which is why I did not recognize.
See.
Do you think they could have done a better job of like planning ahead? Like if Super 7's already put out like waves of these figures, and you're eventually going to get to the point where you're going to start putting out characters that aren't as popular. Do you think they should have started sprinkling some of those characters in earlier waves and make it like a 3-to-2 ratio? Like you get 3 good figures and 2 bootlegs.
I'll just say from impartial, I'll give the company credit, because I think they did. So if you follow that line, you have like the classics and you have the Filmation, and they've made their own Filmation characters that were never made by Mattel in the style of the cartoon. So Mattel made a Grizzlor, Super 7 made a Grizzlor that's coming out, and they're very, very different figures. One has like real fur and looks like the 80s toy remastered, and the other looks like it's the animation. Super 7 went back sorry to cut you off, Jose.
No, I'm sorry. That's the difference between the two. Like they're doing both,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So Super 7's done both, and they also had some of their highlights where they did like an Ultimate He-Man and Ultimate Skeletor.
Correct.
Those sold out, and they're reissuing Filmation He-Man and Skeletor. The Ram Man was really popular and really expensive. They changed the coloring to make it more cartoon, but it's the same classics figure. So to their credit, I think that they have tried to sprinkle in, a wide range of characters in each wave. And part of their goal was to try to make every single character that was ever on the animation, So
yeah,
Gary, you know what? I'm gonna get on the same fucking train you are, because I did watch a review of that reissue He-Man, and you would think they would improve the figure that He-Man that Matty did, and they did a little bit where in areas that the Matty one was weak in, but then fucked up on other areas that the Matty was good in. So it's like. It's like, come on, if you're going to reissue a figure, just make a good, make it to where and fix all the issues. So you got one good fucking figure.
Right. I have a question on that.
Put the wrist swivel in, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly,
have that angle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have a question on that because I couldn't help but think about the Black Series. What are they calling it? The
Legacy.
Archive.
Legacy. Yeah.
Anybody open one yet?
I have.
Yeah. Yep.
Are they better than the original?
I've opened the Luke, and he's got the digital face printing.
Yeah,
right.
But
aside from that, that's it.
The Bulba, no.
Because I know on the IG88 they fixed supposedly that problem with the legs, and he's not leaning on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the legs are fixed on it, and the paint is a lot better. On the
IG88. The IG88 paint looks good. Yeah,
they still have the rubber elbows, and still have all that stuff. They didn't change that up, which those things are going to dry out and just fucking fall apart eventually. But
so
that I think they're just keeping true to some of the I think the Bosk and the Boba Fett are just simply the same figure. It's very hard.
They're very close.
Yeah, they're very close.
What are you going to say, JD?
Yeah, I was going to say, backing up to talking like a Matty Collector and Super 7 stuff. Their main mistake is not mainstreaming their line. Like just selling it to fucking retailers and letting them sort it out. Yeah, that's their mistake.
Yeah, that's true.
They want to be, oh no, we're better than that. We're going to make all our toys and you have to buy them directly from us, but you have to buy every single one of them.
Well, you have to buy them from us, and we're going to use a really shitty distributor service called Digital River that everyone knows doesn't have. Exactly, is a terrible business. And then, just like you said, JD, what happened on the West Coast is so much of their overstock, not the end of the line, but like I'm talking 3-4 years ago, all hit Big Lots and closeout stores on the West Coast. So people would go in there and see all these, $20 figures for $5.
Mattel would probably still have all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If it wasn't for their fucking stupid ass subscription service.
I tell you what, when I look at that, this is going to derail this a little bit, but I get hurt, man, that they canceled that Thundercats thing. Like I was looking forward to getting a new Thundercat every month for like the next 5 years. I was beside myself. I know.
I don't disagree with you, Brian.
I'm happy I got whatever. I'm happy we got the 6 sets that we got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, I'm
hopefully somebody will pick it up.
So let's talk. Let me ask.
Super 7 either.
So you guys know I had strong feelings about the sail barge a few months ago, right? For the 3 3/4. Where do we think this thing's going to end up at retail, brick and mortar, once all the orders are filled?
How much is it? How much was it when
it was $500?
500.
I say 2.
No, I'm saying where do we think we're going to see them go?
Oh, where? What store?
Yeah.
Oh God, probably
GameStop.
Big Lots. Big Lots.
You know what, Gary, before you go too deep, Bricks brought up a pretty decent point, like in the chat, like considering like when you have to buy the whole wave. He said, couldn't you just go all in and then order a bunch of the popular ones and then become the third party vendor, I guess, where you're selling the popular figures for a marked price and then basically all your sets are free.
And then everybody be calling you a dick.
No, that's a valid point. But you're then doing the work for it also.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Sure. And look, if you enjoy it, and I don't want to tangent it there again because we know, like, look, Dom, you work hard at that, right? You've also helped many people in the community, you know, but without making money, you found stuff for. And I know you said, right, you enjoy the hunt, but it's still work. It's still there's a level of effort that you're put in and your time, and there's a dollar amount attached to that as well. So you can pay 40, sell it for 65, but your time involved in doing all that is still a part in that equation somewhere.
Yeah. And there's risks too. There's risks about it too. So like you can be held, you think you can grab a bunch of figures and all of a sudden, you know, Hasbro announces a legacy wave. The archive wave. And all of a sudden your Boba Fett's don't worth shit. So it's like, you know, I think, like I said, like it is a niche market, but those figures are ridiculous when they go and they sell out and they jump up into these ridiculous prices. And it's the name of the game. And unfortunately, like, you know, if anybody wants to go back and pick up some of those older Filmation figures, you're going to be paying some beans for it. So,
well, that funded my third party endeavors into, you know, the Fans Toys Dinobots before I knew about anybody else in the ROC. And it was just me on my own. As I kind of lost interest in that line, you know, from having the subscriptions for those first few years. You're right, Dom. Like there were some characters that just sold for ridiculous money, and then I turned that into a Hot Toys '89 Batmobile and some other stuff. You know, just because interest kind of ebb and flows.
And it's like it's not like, and it's not even like the old classics. So like that Ultimate Wave that was just issued by Super 7. That secondary market for those figures are just ridiculous. And it's like, you know. It's unfortunate, but like, you know, it is a niche market, and those guys who really love the line tend to, you know, to have to pay a lot if they don't jump in on these things. So I think the business itself, Super 7 is playing that, and they know that, and so they put it all out there. And if you want them, get them. If you don't, then you know you're going to be paying those secondary market prices.
Well, I think there's a risk too that when they got the license, people maybe didn't even think that they were going to follow through with it, you know. So those Ultimates, when they were out for pre-order, I think a lot of people maybe didn't want to be the guinea pigs for that, you know. And I think everyone on this panel has supported a Kickstarter, right? I think some of us bought the Articulate Icons Ninjas. I know a couple of us had the Astrobots, you know. We tried those. So you take a risk, right? When you do that, and that's part of, you know, a choice, I think. But as a consumer, you can make that choice. You're not, you know. I don't know. It's even those Kickstarters, so they might have an incentive if you go all in and get everything, but they usually give you the option to pick and choose what level you want to participate in, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a crappy deal, but like I'm sure if somebody has the love for Masters of the Universe, they're gonna go all in on that line and buy all the figures that they possibly can, because at the end, you know, history has proven itself. Sometimes they're there and plentiful quantities, and then all of a sudden one day they're not going to be there, and then, you know, you're going to be chugging trying to buy the figures that you missed out on, and then they're going to be for triple the cost. So
yeah, I mean that is a good point, Dom. Like you said it, like if it's a niche thing and it has kind of like, you know, you have a small hardcore market that's into that, you know, are they producing enough where, you know, obviously they're selling enough where this stuff sells out, and if you're late to the game, you're gonna have to pay more on that secondary market, right? So there's obviously enough interest in there that's keeping kind of like the line alive, and they're not overproducing to the point where these things are just out there easily available.
And I feel bad for Gary, because he wants to pick certain characters that he wants just to buy, and it's just the current market, that the way the platform that they're putting these things out there is not allowing to do so. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, Gary, Voltron is an example, and you know, I would pick it up for at least $10 more before it becomes $80 more. You know.
Look, there's six characters in that wave. There's 6 of us. Let's just draw straws for who we get. Gary gets the cat lady, and
But I think he brought up another good point though, Dom. Like, because it is such a niche thing, you would think that the people that are kind of going in on this, they would be that type to pick up every character and not want to cherry pick on just 1 or 2, right? You're just gonna wind up going all in.
Well, I'm in with the Filmation, so I'm pre-ordering that whole set, and that's what when Gary brought this point up.
Then I'll have you order. We'll just stop the show, and I'll just pay you to order me the secondary.
I can buy
the extra.
I can buy you the second. I can buy you the second one that you want, Gary, if you want me to.
Fine.
Wait. If you buy a full set, then you can buy extras. Is there anyone?
That's correct. Correct. Yes.
Oh no shit!
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
that's not bad, bro.
Dude,
I didn't know that.
I said that at the beginning.
I wasn't paying
He
attention.
said that in the beginning.
He
I wasn't
did.
paying attention to that. But that right there, for those people, the resellers or the people that are heavy into it or in collector groups, it'd be smart for them to do that.
Go
Pick
in
up
on the wave and
a
then
few extra, hit up their buddies. Which ones you want from this?
Yeah. That's the Shadow Weaver is going to be the one that people are going to buy the set, and they're going to buy 6 or 7 Shadow Weavers.
So, Dom, you're buying 10 Shadow Weavers?
No,
right?
no. I'm done. I'm done with buying mass quantities of shit. I don't want to do it anymore.
But Gary, me though.
I'm Gary. If you want one, or if anybody wants one, let me know, because I think the pre-order ends on January 30th or something like that, at the end of the month.
I'm PMing you now, Dom.
No problem.
See, Gary, look at this. You're costing us more money. Thanks for bringing
Dude, I know.
But I'm going to order the whole set because I'm in on the Filmation line. I have the ones from the beginning. I have the ones from Maddie, so I'm all in.
Well, Dom, just order me. I have your battle line, so just order me the cat lady.
We'll do.
Call it even.
Call it even.
Yeah.
Yep. This makes me think of something else. So you guys are talking about, people making you buy whole sets of shit. What about, for example, Hot Toys, right? They'll come out with
say that one more time, David cut out on me.
Hot Toys. Hot Toys.
Okay.
Yeah.
They come out with a figure. Let's say I'm going to bring one in specific up. Return of the Jedi Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
He came out, pre-order went up. He's steadily available. He's in stock. They sold how many units of it? And then all of a sudden they decide to put out a deluxe version of it. That's the scumbag shit I don't like. If you're gonna make a deluxe version, I'm with it if it's gonna be available at the same time as the basic version is.
Sure.
Give the buyer
the minute
option.
you fucking throw an extra fucking cape, fucking face, helmet, whatever into a box and it comes out 8 months later, it's like a slap in the face of the customer if you don't make it available to that customer. You know what I mean? Hey, look, if you pre-ordered the basic version and you want the upgrade set, which I think it's something that they should look into doing, for a set amount, I'm okay with that. But they don't make it ready, so available. So you have to do, if you really want that stuff that comes with it, you got to either swap out the one you have.
This is another reason I don't get into these, because they fuck you over.
This is true, but I mean, this happens.
I think
this happens in other lines too.
Yeah,
just like we bought the Toy World Devi, right? Piece by piece, $600.
Mm-hmm.
6 months later, we got a set for $400. Here you go, dick boys.
With all the upgrade parts.
Yeah, with all the upgrade parts that you can't find individually anymore. Come on.
So I will say this, Dave, to your point with that, is it doesn't matter if it's Hot Toys, Transformers, right? I think anyone who collects something, because of the nature of being, whether you have that drive or you don't, right? I collect stuff. My wife doesn't. She doesn't really, get into holding on to anything. That collector mentality is going to be just like you said. Well, if you give me something extra, I kind of want that one. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not going to use it, I think I still probably want that one because it feels special, or it's, I just think there's that mentality, and you're right. That type of maneuvering from the business or the company plays upon that type of part of your psyche, and it's not about the product anymore. About, hey, there's this little extra piece. It's pretty poor.
Yeah, it's cool when they do
treatment.
it when it drops. Like
give you the option, right?
They
like the Darth Maul, the Emperor in Chair,
right.
like all the deluxe versions came during the same time as the original release.
Right.
Now, granted, the deluxe version tends like I don't know whether there's a shorter quantity of it or there, I don't know like whether it's limited or whatever the case may be, but I just feel like it is a dick move because how many people bought that Jedi Luke, and if they had the option to buy the deluxe at the same time, they probably would have got with the deluxe.
Well, some people would be, some people wouldn't,
Yeah, exactly. But majority, like a lot of people, like the people who would be interested in putting out the extra dough to get those extra parts and felt that it was worth it, because some people might have thought it was not worth it, so they would buy the regular guy. But
exactly right.
At the end of the day, at least you have, you're pleasing both customers.
Hot Toys Mark IV, right? I can spend $300 and whatever, right? $65 without the gantry, or I could get the one for $600, right? And that's a pretty substantial increase in price. But if you wanted the gantry and they brought that out separately, right? You don't have the option to get those pieces if you just drop $400 ish on the regular figure.
So the gantry is that fucking big yellow thing that
from Iron Man 2
together, right? So another thing of Iron Man, right? I think you and me, Gary, were talking about this. I forgot. I'm not familiar with the suits, so don't quote me on this. But there was.
You're not a fan.
An Iron Man. No, I'm not a huge Iron Man fan. I like him. I think he's dope, but no, I don't know what from what. I know 6 and 7's cool, 46 and some shit like that. All right, so there's a suit that they have right now that you're available to buy, right? Which is dope, but you're forced to buy the deluxe version, which is like $400 and something, right, or something like that. That comes with like his suit when it just flies by itself when he's inside of it.
I know what you're talking about.
All right, what suit is that? Do you know?
I can't remember which mark. It's from the Avengers, but it's
why the fuck would I want that piece of fucking flying, fucking half of a suit flying in the air? Who's gonna use that for what reason?
Right.
But
so you're talking about the Mark 7
for an extra $80. It makes no sense to me. I'd rather the version come out with just a reissue of the figure.
Well, it came back to one of our earlier topics where the Mark 50, right? You buy the figure, right? And then the whole set is like another $200 if you want all the extra sword pieces and the foot anchors and
there's a weapon accessory set.
Yeah, all that other stuff. So,
which I prefer. I prefer them doing weapon accessory sets instead of like issuing another freaking goddamn Mark 50 with different weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Was 50 Infinity War one?
Yeah.
The nanotechnology, really slim
because
armor.
I was watching that. He looked like he's wearing a neoprene suit. It looks so stupid.
Yeah, it's really.
But I know Dave is going to chime into this one. The Anakin Skywalker. So they issued Anakin Skywalker, and then they did an exclusive, which now it's available. It's still on their fucking site. The Anakin Dark Side. So it has a dark side face with the eyes, and everybody would prefer that head or would love that head. So the thing, that's funny. Laugh, please. And but the thing is like if they did a deluxe figure where they came with both heads, both sculpts or portraits.
What up, deluxe?
That would have been cool as shit. As shit. And I think their fault, like they should. If they're providing a deluxe that has has an extra portrait, I think they should mark it up a little bit higher than what they currently are, because it at least it'll help them gain money for that second portrait, and rather than issuing the figure again, because they're not making money on the body. It's the scope of that head that everybody's going for. So that's where the money is that portrait. So.
The only upsell with that figure was they came with that base.
It came with the base, but
fucking base or whatever.
About that base.
It's like every company does it. Like everybody's just. It's just unfortunate. Like it even happens with statues. Like I know it's certain statues they've screwed people because they've released a statue and then came up with a variant months later, where if they sold that variant at the same time with the other statue, it would have pleased a lot of other customers because they would have gone and purchased the variant.
Yeah, but that's the fuck you, is that they want your money for the original when you don't know that something else is coming out, and then they catch you for something else. So, you know, I'm sure there's a market for that where there's going to be people that just are going to buy it, you know, no matter what. But yeah, but I'd see
do they do that? Do they do that with PlayArt Sky, JD? Like, do they? Like, I know they do variants and stuff like that. Is it separated to the point? No.
No, I think the variants for PlayArt Sky are more like convention
exclusives. Yes.
Yeah. Because for New York Comic Con, the Deathstroke they had that they were selling from like Arkham Origins. Mm-hmm. They had a variant version that they were selling at New York Comic Con.
And is it the variant version just simply like a same sculpt, but it's just different,
slightly different color? Yeah, slightly different color. Yeah.
Like they did a Bahamut where they did that. It was an exclusive, but so it was like just a repaint.
Same thing. Like, I think it's the same concept in a bit. It's an exclusive, so it's, you know, it's like Mezco did it with the Punisher, like the classic white and black Punisher. They did an exclusive, but everybody, and granted, the original figure was a great figure, was an awesome figure, but like if they did it at the same time, you know, I'm sure people would be jumping on the white black figure rather than the traditional original that came out.
Mm.
But it's just the name of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it before, right? Like these companies are gonna do what they can do to sell the most amount of product possible, you know, and it is what it is. I guess it's up to us to decide whether we're gonna play that game or not. You know, either pay a little bit more for that figure you want on the aftermarket, or go all in, because that's kind of what they're demanding that we do, right? If we're following these lines, so you know, good discussion though. Do you guys want to go into the questions? You want to wrap on that? Start the ROC hangout? I'll leave it up to you guys.
I don't know. Don't leave it up to me. I mean,
are you ready? Are you ready? Dave?
I don't have any questions.
See, you're disappointing the fans. Disappointing the fans. I wanted to hear your question this evening. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? You guys that are watching, listening, you're gonna have to wait till next week to get the question from Energon Addict.
Me? It's my turn?
Yeah, I think it's our turn, Dave. I think it's me, you, and
no, it's
Brian.
One person a week.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, you know.
It's one person a week.
Come on, who has the question? Let's do it.
I didn't get the memo.
Do it.
Motherfuckers did not keep it up.
JD, you didn't send me the memo. What the fuck?
Yeah, I just remember something last week about that. I was like, all right, I guess it changed.
I didn't get no memo.
Just to finish off on the topic we were talking about real quick, I want to mention something to you mythic dudes, right? There was an interview with Cornboy. I think it went down yesterday on one of these podcasts, and they actually touched on like Gary's whole subject with like making figures more readily available and not so much just on a Kickstarter, or you know, picking them up like in what do they call it, the all-ins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they talked about having like the builder figures like available all the time, like possibly in the future. So
builder figures?
The builder figures, the cheaper figures, like the army builder.
Oh, the builders,
builder
figure. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool that they said.
Oh, that'd be great if they
Yeah.
do that. Then
Yeah.
like, people who are looking to army build and you know, create their armies and whatever they want to do, they can have that available for them no matter what. And not have to pay
And
secondary
also,
market prices.
what they're gonna do is, you know how like let's say that the last advent of Decay that came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many figures was it? Like fucking 20.
Yeah.
They're gonna lower the amount of figures they come out with at a time. So they're more like
good.
How they did the Siege, and it was just a
great.
certain
Like
amount of
Coliseum,
figures.
like the Coliseum.
Right. So they're gonna do like
Like at least 6 or 8 figures.
6 to 10 figures or something like that. Call it a day. You know.
And by the
Yeah,
way,
'cause-
the Advent of Decay was like 40.
Yeah, exactly. I know it was a lot.
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
That's awesome, because that means you don't have to worry about picking up those builder figures right at the beginning. You can, if you know they're gonna be around
Right.
for retail, you can just hold off on those, which would be great.
That's the
I didn't have to.
difference,
So you're telling me I didn't have to take a second mortgage on my house to buy the Advent.
but that's the difference between these dudes who are collectors themselves, you know, and are
Yeah.
looking out for the benefit of the collector, as opposed to these money hungry fucking Corporations, exactly, JD, that want just want your money, don't care about anything else.
I can imagine too, if I put myself in those shoes and seeing the secondary market and where some of these figures are going, and it's like I'm sure there's like two viewpoints on them, like saying, "Wow, look how great or like how popular or how much they want it," but then and on the other side though, like saying, "Man, these guys are like paying a lot of money for these fucking figures."
You're exactly right. They could, they could pay us,
and they could pay us, and they don't have to fucking break the bank. And like I can see those two, like the good the good devil and the bad, and the angel on one shoulder going, see, just talking to him and just saying, "Hey, wow, look how they love our fucking figures, all this money, all this, all like, and basically one saying, no, we gotta help them, It's just, I feel like it's just really, I think they're more in tune to the collectors communities, and I hope they do what you're saying, Dave. That would be really great.
Yeah, I mean, if you go, on that mythic thing that we're all in or whatever, you can actually read read more about it. I'm just going off of what I remember.
I guess nobody saw my post in there.
What post?
Fuck your post.
You posted something?
Last week I posted something.
What? With your castle in there?
Huh?
With your castle?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that. You got like 800 dudes sucking your dick in that group.
Cornboy was in there too.
You already all sucked your dick about it, so I wasn't gonna suck your dick again on that fucking page. So
I think JD's like you're like renting out space for that castle, right? So people can put their their figures in there.
JD, I did have a joke about that though. I gotta get you for a second.
Please. Is that still being worked
You're quick to respond to these guys that you don't even fucking know about your castle, but you won't respond to us in the fucking chat about the fucking show on Tuesday.
I see where your loyalty is.
Priorities.
Shake my head. That's why you like the red mic. You fucking devil, you.
I had to pull it.
Try to play the saint, don't you?
All right, guys. So you know what? I'm gonna give one of you guys 30 seconds to fucking think of a question, because the chat squad wants the question game tonight. So we're gonna ask one question before we go off the air and start the ROC Hangouts. So, and you know what? I'm gonna do you guys a favor.
You got a question?
I got a question for the chat squad. So that gives you guys just a few more seconds to think of a question that you're going to ask the rest of us here on the panel. Unless somebody wins a prize. You never know. That could happen too. So Brian Brink, you got your board up? You got the dashboard up? Are you ready? I know you're ready.
Yep.
All right. So my question for the chat squad. It's going to be a geek related question. You know what? The Flash just came back tonight on the CW. CW got their Arrowverse on. So my question for the chat squad, we're going to see. And you know what? Let's see if you guys can look it up. In what season was Arrow in when the Flash made its debut on the CW network? And what year? You know what? I'm not even, it's a two-part question. What season was Arrow in when the Flash made its debut on the CW network? And what was the year? Can't make it too easy for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Who's your daddy? And what does
People are throwing out random numbers. This is a two-part question, guys.
Two-part, and it has to be in the same response.
The same response. Exactly. Thank you,
fuckers.
I hope one of you guys is thinking of a question.
Yeah, I'm looking some stuff up. I got a question or two, I think.
Well, Jim was close. Some people got the season right of Arrow, but nobody's got the year right on the Flash. Oh, I think Chat Wing and them got it. According to what I see. Yep. Chat Wing them said third, which is correct. It was the third season of Arrow. And he put the year 2014, which is also correct. That's the year the Flash debuted on the CW.
Oh my God, those things have been on forever.
Chat winging up. Yep, a few years.
Wow, his internet is working well tonight out there in the desert.
So chat winging them. If you're a watcher of the show, you know how this goes. Pick a number between 1 to 30. Let me highlight Brian Brink. Chad winging them.
Jose, you giving the prize away, bro. You the one acting the.
Oh, see, he's a DC fan. He likes DC, and I think, and that's true. I think he's. I think it's safe to say he's more happy with what they're doing on the CW network than what they're doing with the films. I know he's been a vocal critic of that, and he chooses 15.
Host question.
Sorry, chat. No prize for you this week, but thank you for playing. All right, is it you? You're gonna do this?
I'll do it. I got it.
All right, Dave.
Unless somebody has a better one. You guys got questions?
I was looking. I don't have anything.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Would you rather have, right? Would you rather have A or B? Would you rather have A, skin that changes color based on your emotions? Like if you're sad, you turn blue. If you're mad, you turn red. Or tattoos appearing all over your body depicting what you did yesterday.
Fuck, dude. That's interesting.
So I'm going to answer it. All right. I thought about it a little bit. So I wouldn't want either one, really. But I would guess I'd probably go with the colors. Because if I got tattoos that depicted on what I did yesterday...
Yeah. David be in jail.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking jerking off, smoking weed, fucking taking, who knows, taking a shit, picking my nose. Like,
what did you do with your shower head?
I don't fucking want it. I don't want people to know what I'm fucking doing.
The fuck stealing Optimus from Walmart? What?
Exactly. You ran away from a cop? What?
Oh, dude, that's a great question, though. That's interesting. That's outside the box, and that's what I love about this game. I think my answer is going to be similar to yours, dude. We're all into our routines and whatnot. You go to work, you come home. And,
but that can work against you, though, when you're changing colors and based on your emotion, because you could be pissed at your boss and you're trying to be nice, and you're fucking turning red, and he's like, why are you so mad?
That's true, but I think I would go with the colors, just because for the most part, I would say like I'm in a good mood for the most part, except for like what Dom said, when you go through that bullshit at work or whatnot, and so I think that's something that's a little bit like less intrusive, I guess, in a way. Like the tattoos of what you did.
Just imagine,
Dave, it's like you said, it's fucking.
Jesus.
Just imagine how annoying it is when you're sad and you're blue and everybody's coming up to you going, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, see, Dom's right. I would go
red. Go ahead.
I would go with the What am I going to say, Dave?
You're going to say I'd go with the tattoos because all it would show is me eating fucking chicken breast and going to the gym.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. That's twofold. Listen, the tattoos, I think, would bring a higher level of consciousness, right, to what your choices you're making. However, you can only sustain that type of like living for so long. So as you are making those other choices, you're really going to own those and not give a fuck about what anybody else says or thinks. Right. So I think that's really going to drive like confidence and courageous feelings to really, be more cognizant of the choices you make, number one. And then number two, be even more prideful of owning what those decisions are, because you don't have a choice. Right.
But Gary, on the other hand, though, like with the changing colors, that's going to help you focus on controlling your emotions and controlling your feelings and everything.
No, I think your perspective makes sense. I don't want people, are you angry? Why are you angry? Are you having a bad day? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me cheer you up. Let me tell you this. It's like,
we know the color for sad would probably be blue. The color for mad would be red. But what's the color for happy and
yellow? Green would be horny.
Green would be.
I think we all be fucking green all the time.
Green would be, I think, if you were sick.
Oh, there you go. See,
Yo,
fucking question got people thinking.
Yo, Josh said, "Man, tats of me shitting on Tyler's floor. Oh God."
See, I like the idea of an ever evolving artwork, but
like Rorschach's face.
Yeah, you kind of yeah. But at the same time, you know, I don't.
It'd be cool because it'd be like a storyboard on your body.
Yeah, but then my wife would probably tell me, "Take your fucking shirt off. I want to know
Let me see what you
did yesterday. Who that fucking bitch?" Nah,
oh yeah, that's right. She's gonna be like, "Who was you chatting up out of water cooler, Dave? I see it. Who's that?"
Fucking Dom will lift his shirt up. It'll say eBay, Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah, there you go. My wife will find out exactly what I'm buying.
Yeah, so
I was gonna make a bad joke and be like, you know, Dave's wife takes her top off, and all of a sudden he's calling me on the phone.
Fucking dick.
G Money, you
Gary,
bastard.
why am I looking at you right now, Gary? Why am I looking at you, Gary? Right now, I'm looking at you on my wife's chest. What's going on?
But yeah, like I like the idea of it, but at the same time, like I don't know, people think that what I do is kind of illustrious or glamorous. It's really not that exciting. So I don't know if I would, you know, there's not really much to depict.
Especially when you gotta be all up in between people's butt cheeks and shit, right?
You take the good with the bad.
I want Peter Pan on my team.
So I think I would go with the colors.
What color would you be right now?
White.
What's that mean?
Evil.
Gary, I think I'd go with your option B, because it would make you more cognizant of the choices that you're making, and you would do better things. And then guess what? If you did want to take a break from all that, just remember you can stay in house for a whole day.
Or dress really, really warm.
Exactly. Wear long sleeve shirts and gloves.
And also, too, if you think about it, like, you know, if people know what you just did, they're like, well, you know, they don't even have to bother asking you questions. So if you don't feel like talking to anybody, you just be like, hey, look,
on my forehead.
Yeah, look at that. That guy went to work yesterday. All right, I was gonna ask him how his day was, but I guess it's fine. You know.
Yeah, but he's blue, so you don't want to ask him because he's sad anyway.
But it could be neat, like, because what if you want people to see what you did? So like you would constantly be putting yourself out there to like, look, this motherfucker jumped off a bridge and fucking parachuted all the way back down the thing and all that.
If you were doing something crazy, that the payoff would be a little bit better, but. You know.
It's like, oh, I can't wait to read Gary tomorrow. I bet he did something fantastic. Anyway,
20 minutes of gym selfies.
I mean, it's either that or I would just be red all the goddamn time, and I would just.
Y'all rag on Gary for that shit, because I know that's that typical gym behavior, but Gary don't do that. I don't be seeing gym selfies of Gary. Gary, I got your back.
He just don't post them because we know we're gonna make fun of him.
Yo, Jose, check his phone. Check his phone. Check his phone. Go into history. You'll see the true colors.
Oh man! So was that everybody?
Yeah, I would pick B.
So.
I would pick B. The tattoos for me. Yeah, I agree with Gary.
So you do whatever you want. So
Dom would have a big tattoo of a receipt.
Yeah, just like going. It's just
all over his body.
Just receipts.
You
Some
can't
red ones for all the returns.
Yep. Want to see what I bought? It'd be easy when I do, what you get. I could just show you show me my list.
Like, this is what I got.
It'd be like a runner like on like fucking CNN, Fox News.
The ticker. That's it. All right. Well, that was awesome. Thank you for that question, Dave. That was outside of the box, and I love that. So let me see. Let me pick somebody. Let me eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe.
What are you picking? What are you doing now?
Dom, you're up fucking next week. You better have a question ready for the
Okay,
chat.
I got a question.
You're up. You're next. All right.
You can beat the shit out of Dave.
All right, so we'll wrap on that, guys. We're gonna open up the ROC Hangout. We'll be posting the link in the ROC Facebook group, so keep a lookout for that. For everybody watching and listening, we thank you. Remember to hit that thumbs up button. Just do us a favor. You know what I'm saying? Dave might send you a prize if you hit that thumbs up button. He'll be checking that randomly.
Yep. Nobody shit.
But we thank you for watching and listening tonight. Before we head out, let's run it down the line. Find out where we can find you guys on social media. So, Brian Brink, I'll start with you, brother.
Brian Brink in the Facebook groups, at Brinklizer on Instagram.
Sweet. Big Dom.
Find me in the groups, Dominic Grasso, and Brian already sent me his list of Master of Universe Filmation character that he wants. So yes, I will pick up you and Adam, Brian, no problem. He's not smiling because I know that's the one that he wants. Because
I'll trade you a laughing Adam for it.
For a small fee, right now.
Right? Yeah, no, well, it's a friend. It's a friend fee.
All right, Energon Addict.
You can find me here on Tuesdays with these guys. Find me on Instagram, Energon Addict. I do take a toy pick from time to time.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow me and you're part of the realm, let me know. I'll follow you back. I don't follow everybody back because I don't get on that often. But when I do, I do.
Dave, I have a question for you.
What's up?
The picture that you posted that was spotlighted last night. Was that just a straight up Mythic Legions goblin?
Oh, okay. So no,
that looked like an Orco. Was that
exactly what it is? It's
Evil Orco.
Evil Orco, but he has a name. What's his name? The something one. Gary, where are you when we need you?
Yeah, it's what
the unnamed one.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So he comes with this extra head, and it fits on the Mythics. So I basically just put it on there just to make it a little different.
I ordered 2 of those today.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question, guys, on that. Have you guys been going back looking at some old classic figures and seeing which ones like combine with Mythics and just kind of pick them up, or have you guys done that yet? Or because I've been finding myself doing that, and I got to stop.
The older ones, the ones that aren't the Filmation stuff. If you can get some plain heads, I mean that would work.
Like I've been picking up even characters that I seen the older ones, and I just that would match or go with a lot of those Mythic characters. So.
Yeah, there's a few different lines that the pieces will go with the Mythic stuff. You just gotta be on the lookout for it.
Nice. All right, G Money.
Gary Allen in the Facebook groups. You'll find me there.
And that's it.
That's it.
No
Gary's tired.
No G Money 1010 on Instagram.
I got to do something with that. Like I say it, I've been saying it for 6 months. Right? Let's be honest. Like
I still tag you when I can in photos. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll be tagging you again this weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah, I will say the ETR photo challenge has kind of got my imagination going. I think a little bit. So I don't have the skill set, but I may just for fun try and participate with some pictures here soon.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. The Realm of Collectors Challenge happening. The theme currently is silence. And you got to January 27th to get your photos in, guys. So plenty of time to do that there. Gee, I'd appreciate that, dude. Get your photo in. And, that'd be awesome.
You're going to get 5 pictures of Fans Toy Cyclonus.
Well, you're only allowed to post 2 in the challenge, so just post your best 2. And G, if you do post a pic, I'm looking forward to that. You never know, that might spark something that you might like doing in the future.
Yeah, just give it a try. You'll see. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. All right, JD.
Dave, are you high enough?
You couldn't hear him.
You saw me.
I saw you.
I don't know. My eyes are getting like at the end of the show.
Unless you fart like smoke
out of your mouth. Yeah, you can find me, JD Brocious, on the Facebook groups. Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. And every Tuesday here with these five fellows. And tomorrow, an all new figure bagging.
Oh,
shit! This is a figure bag week. Baby. Fuck! I gotta work. God damn. Nah, I kid. I
probably be pulling a brink shift this week.
Yeah,
that's right,
dude. Make sure you remind Ace. It's been quiet in the chat.
Mind Ace. You know we got a mind Ace. All right, guys, that's for myself. I hear the emergency alert system going off in somebody's background there. What's going on? Are we safe, guys? Are we safe? I hear somebody's alert going off. All right, and as for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrick and BX. Here every single Tuesday with these fine gentlemen. And check out Verbally Challenged with Harrick and BX, the latest guest, Bobby Skullface. Check it out. Shout out to him. That's already my most downloaded, my most listened to episode ever.
It's only Tuesday.
And it's only Tuesday in record time, too. So shout out to Bobby. That was awesome, sitting down and having a conversation with him. So, yeah, check that out, guys. Before we head out, we got RamaCollectors.com. Check that out. We got a blog section, the photos that are posted on that website that we showcase on ETR every week, and you can check them out on our Instagram. So RamaCollectors.com. We're on Instagram at Rama Collectors. We're on Facebook, Rama Collectors. You got to answer some questions, but answer them and join the group. You guys are going to have a good time once you're in there. We appreciate the love and support from the community. Remember Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco and diorama needs. Be sure to mention the word realm when placing an order, and you'll get a surprise gift with your purchase. And remember to check out all the other shows on the Cool Table Network. We got Into the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattercast Uncut, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Boasters 40K, Stasis Lock, 8 weeks building up to it, Fresh Communication, and Verbally Challenged. So you can find the Cool Table on Facebook and subscribe to all those other great podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. That does it for us tonight, guys. Thank you to everybody watching and listening. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We really appreciate it. Remember to give us that thumbs up. We'll see you next week, guys. All right. Peace out. Be good. Stay safe.
So
later.
Long.
Toodles.
Toodles.